whether you are a young professional or you are a seasoned senior professional or you are a practicing Six Sigma consultant, I'll see to that you still benefit out of the program by spending your time here. I'll see to that there is some new learning for each one of you. Like our Prabhakar was highlighting, every company is looking for achieving excellence. Every company is looking for achieving excellence. So first of all, what is excellence? What is business excellence? We need to be on the top in terms of all aspect, right? In terms of all aspect, let's say market share. If you say, if you say you are excellent, then your market share should reflect it. Hope people here agree with me. Your market share should be considerably high, and then you can say, no, your performance is excellent and your business is, excellent. So in order to achieve the excellence, it is very important that you perform a little better than others in the competition. Hope people here agree with me, right? In order to achieve the excellence, it is very, very important that you perform little better than others in the competition, nothing but your competitors in different aspect, particularly in terms of quality. In terms of quality, you should stand out. In terms of productivity, you should stand out. In terms of delivery, you should stand out. And then only what will happen, you will be able to retain your existing customer. You will be able to retain your existing market share. You will also be able to attract new customers. Why new customers are coming to you? Because your quality is better. At the same time, your cost is competitive. At the same time, you are always, giving priority to every single order. Like, in terms of delivery, you always ensure there is on-time delivery. So Lean Six Sigma is actually an approach to retain your position in the market. Lean Six Sigma is actually an approach to, to improvise your market share, right? And ultimately, the approach will take you to number one position. Ultimately, the approach will take you to number one position, and that is not going to happen, just with the vision of the top management. It will happen only if the vision of the top management is clear and the participation of the employees are also ensured. Unless and until employees participate and then, try to help the organization progress towards, the attainment of the long-term goal, and nothing is going to happen. But Lean Six Sigma will ensure everyone is, aligned in the correct direction. There will be a lot of awareness to be created in any organization. We call it the white belt. Unless and until people are convinced about something, and nobody is going to actually, practice it. So awareness has to be given to people at all levels, importantly the top management. Unless and until their support and their blessings are extended to the employees who are working hard to make sure the company grows, it will be difficult for them to actually realize the growth. So the blessings and support of the top management is very, very important. Similarly, the managers, leaders, and people at the down level, everyone from security till CEO. Yes, people should understand our company is on an aggressive campaign. We are trying to grow in the market. We are trying to, make a progress in the correct direction. And 3 years, 5 years down the line, we all wanted to see our company in a particular position. This visualization is important. If everybody understands, and obviously they will try to give their best, this is the first starting point towards business excellence. Business excellence doesn't mean, you have achieved everything. No. You are on the right track. You are on the right track. Today, you are performing better. You are working hard. That means one day you are going to be the winner without any doubt. Just imagine your child studying in a class. Your child is not so great in academics today. It doesn't mean that your child is not going to win the race. Your child will definitely win the race. All that your child has to do is work little hard, work little more smart than others in the same class. Obviously, irrespective of the current position, one day you will see your child on top of the list. The same thing will happen for your company also. Your company may be a small company today, a startup, but it can be, the market leader later on. All that required is, the full support from each and everyone in the company, the involvement and their commitment. Involvement as well as commitment. Right now, all of you are here in the program. That means you are involved. But very few are going to participate well in the program. That is commitment. A question is asked and you are immediately giving an answer. And you are participating, with, in a very live manner. That shows your commitment. You are not only involved, you are also committed. Can you make sure everyone is involved in your drive towards excellence? Can you also make sure at least the managers and leaders are committed? So that if anyone is down, they will immediately be there, motivate and make sure, everyone is brought into the line. Every single project that is happening in your company should be aligned towards the long-term goal. So Lean Six Sigma is nothing but an aggressive campaign to achieve the long-term goals of the company. First of all, this has to be very, very clear. To achieve the long-term goals of a company. So how a company can achieve the long-term goals? Today, your company is a small child. It has to learn a lot. First standard, second standard, third standard, 10th standard, 12th standard, degree, graduation, PhD. Your organization should also learn. It doesn't know, the organization doesn't know many nowadays because it is small company nowadays. How an organization will learn? Organization will learn project by project. Organization will learn project by project. So what is a project? An improvement. A small improvement is a project. A breakthrough improvement, that is also a project. A moderate improvement, that is also a project. So every improvement you do in your company, that's a project. So how can you identify improvement opportunity? Every problem your people are facing, your customers are facing, your business owners are facing. There could be many issues, customer problem and business problem and technical problem. All those problems are nothing but improvement opportunities. Every improvement opportunity, should be taken up as a project. When you want to run a project, there could be different types of projects, like Kaizen projects, like like quality circle. Some companies follow. They also take a project. But there are certain projects which only Six Sigma experts can do. I am going to talk about only such projects here in this platform, here in this forum. So what are Six Sigma projects? If the problem is recurring in nature, the problem is recurring in nature, which means repeatedly happening. Such projects only Six Sigma experts can handle. Because why the problem is repeatedly happening? There is no solution available. There is no solution available. Every shift, there is a 10% rejection happening. First shift also, there is a 10% rejection. Second shift also, there is 10% rejection. There is a 10% rejection consistently happening. Recurring problem. Why solution is not available? Because people are unclear about the root cause. Maybe they are taking some action, but all the actions are based on the symptoms. None of the action is based on the root cause. So this is the scenario where a Six Sigma expert is required. If you are one such expert who can come and help the company as a savior, because it is a burning issue. Every shift, can you imagine a 10% rejection every single shift? If you are the owner of the company, can you tolerate 10% rejection, 12% rejection, 5% rejection every shift? Just calculate how much the money the company is losing. You just cannot tolerate, right? If you know the annual loss, then you will definitely feel bad about the performance. You can take any company, particularly, if the product is costlier, then obviously it will run into $1 million and $1 billion. So we have to be very, very careful. So if the problem is recurring, if the root causes are not clear, if the solutions are not available, then it is a problem. Then it is an opportunity for a Six Sigma expert. If you are such an expert, you will definitely be respected in any environment. Hope people here will agree. Because the company is continuously, going through the issue. and you are now, trying to save the company. You are the savior now, and definitely you will be respected, and companies will definitely see to that. No, you are retained in the company. Company will start seeing you as an asset, because your one project can lead to a saving of several $1 million. One project can lead to a saving of several $1 million. Maybe the project is, maybe a simple problem you have fixed, but then you fixed the problem at the root level. The advantage of fixing a problem at the root level is same problem cannot come again. And now there are different ways. You can solve. Sometimes people call root cause analysis as a why analysis, cause and effect analysis. Trust me, these are simple tools. These are simple tools. A Six Sigma expert will go beyond all these tools. Because if you are conducting a cause and effect analysis, if you are conducting a why analysis, you are only going through subjective analysis. People just talk. I'll give my opinion, you will give your opinion, and then all of us will create a beautiful diagram on the board, which is a fishbone diagram. And now we get a clear picture of the problem. Because always people believe what they see instead of than what they are hearing. Right now, I'm just talking. All of you are just hearing to me. But in addition to that, if I show some pictures, some video clips, and you will definitely get inspired. Oh, this person is really, showing some useful information. So same manner, that is the purpose, you all try to create a diagram while having a round of brainstorming discussion, conducting a why analysis, conducting the cause and effect analysis. You create a fishbone diagram. Many of the projects, they solve it there itself. Problem, they solve it there itself. Simply because they were able to figure out the root cause there itself. Sometimes, by mistake, they assume a symptom as a root cause and then take some action, but still the problem will continue. If you are going through rejection shift after the shift, day after day, week after week, if customer complaints are repeatedly happening, every week a customer is complaining about your products. All the entire lot you supplied last week is completely coming back to a factory. And customer always comment about your delayed delivery. On-time delivery is a big challenge for you. Please understand, it means that's the time your company requires Six Sigma experts. Either you hire someone new or you convert your employees into bells. If you're not doing it, probably your market share will gradually go down. All your existing clients will start going to your competitors. No company would like to see those things happening, right? So these are the scenarios, these are the timelines a company should embrace approaches like Lean and Six Sigma. So having given the background, let us proceed and then understand what's exactly Six Sigma and what's exactly Lean and what's exactly Lean Six Sigma. Because there are different terminologies that are available. People call it Lean, sometimes Lean implementation, Lean management, Lean project. Sometimes people call it Six Sigma project. Sometimes people call it Lean Six Sigma project. And similarly, certifications are available. Yellow belt, green belt, black belt, master black belt. And somebody call it I'm a Six Sigma black belt, and somebody called I'm a Lean Six Sigma black belt. What all these things mean? There is going to be an absolute clarity today by attending my session. At the same time, towards the end of the workshop, I will be sharing you an information about my upcoming Six Sigma certification training program. There will be a yellow belt program, which will be conducted for 2 days. There will be green belt program, which will be conducted for 4 days. There will be black belt program, which will be conducted for 6 days. And there will be a master black belt program, which will be conducted for 8 days. All the program happens in online, and green belt and black belt will also happen in classroom mode only in Chennai, right? If you are planning for gaining this kind of expertise, wanted to become an asset in your company, wanted to move up in your corporate ladder, you want to see yourself as a leader in your career, right? In your domain. Or some of you are planning for a salary hike, or some of you are planning for a promotion within your company, or some of you are planning for getting into a new company, which is a premium company, your dream company, or some of you are planning to change your domain completely from manufacturing to service, or from service to manufacturing, or software to automobile to software. All these possibilities will start happening right after you become an appropriate belt, right? Depending on your experience and other things, right? So with that note, I'm going to take you through certain basic principles. This is only an awareness building session. I'm not going to teach you the hardcore subject of Lean Six Sigma, but I will make sure you understand what's exactly Lean Six Sigma and the basic principles behind, the philosophies behind, how companies which introduced Lean and Six Sigma, they succeeded. What made them to, introduce Lean and Six Sigma? It is the company Toyota which introduced Lean. It is the company Motorola which introduced the Six Sigma, right? When Toyota introduced, it was called as Toyota Production System. Toyota Production System, they developed something for their own requirement. But then it was so powerful that every single company can use their system. That's the reason why we just change the name and then try to use it in our company, right? So we started with the term business excellence, which means our market share is good, which means we are performing better than our competitors, which means we have now become a big good brand. For that, what is very important is operational excellence. If you are expecting business excellence, what is required? Operational excellence. Then what is operational excellence? What do you perform? What do you do on a daily basis? That is operations. What do you do on a daily basis? That is operations. If your daily activities are way better than your competitors, what will happen? Obviously, customers, you will become a magnet to attract customer because you have been doing, all your best to perform better in terms of quality, delivery, and cost and other things. So if you perform well on a daily basis, your monthly targets will be achieved. You will be able to achieve easily. If your monthly targets you are achieving, probably your quarterly targets, your annual targets, you will be achieving. Your annual targets will accompany annual goals. The annual goals are called as tactical goals. The annual goals are called as tactical goals. The quarterly goals and monthly goals, daily goals, weekly goals, these, people at the down level take care. But annual goal, people at the mid level will take care. If you know this logic, you can also grow from down level to mid level. Down level managerial role to mid level managerial role. And then mid level managerial role to top level managerial role. So we are talking about tactical goals. What are tactical goals? The annual goals. Annual. What are you expecting to achieve in 1 year time? And how are you going to achieve? What is your plan? Who is made responsible for that? What is the team behind? All those things, you are responsible. Now you are a tactical manager. Now you are a tactical manager, which means you are part of the middle level management. If continuously a company achieves the annual targets, tell me what will happen in a long term. 3 years, 5 years, continuously, everything they discuss in the board meeting, and all the targets they are setting, all the goals they are planning, they are achieving year on year. After 3 years, 5 years, you will see your company achieving a considerable growth. That means the company will start realizing their long-term goals now. 3 years, 5 years. Ultimately, we all have to understand one thing here. The long-term goal depends on annual goal. The annual goal depends on operational goal. Operational goals, attainment of operational goals depends on your daily activities. How do you start your day? How do you close your day? What do you do in between? Are there SOPs in place? Are there systems in place? Are there processes in place? Are your people are really respecting? Are they improving every single process on a daily basis? Every time they go through a failure, are they learning out of it? Are they re-standardizing the SOPs? Are they creating control measures? Keep on making small improvement will help in attaining the operational goals, obviously attaining tactical goals, obviously attaining long-term goals. The long-term goals are also called as strategic goals. This kind of alignment and this kind of performance and making sure everyone is involved and committed in the process. This is known as operational excellence. This is known as operational excellence. And Lean Six Sigma is an approach by which you make sure every single effort is in the correct direction. Every single effort is in the correct direction. A small project to a big project, everything is executed with a purpose, with a clear priority. Clear priority. Organization needs something, and your project also perfectly in alignment with it. None of the project will be rolled out in with misalignment from the organization's priority. So such a drive should be called as the operational excellence drive. The thinking is clearly different from traditional thinking. The thinking is clearly different from traditional thinking. In traditional thinking, their idea is quality is expensive. They always think that high quality product will cost very high. Nowadays, that is not going to be helpful. Even if you believe those things today, and you will be out of the business. Now, as a customer, we all expect a best-in-class product. Sometimes people go and use the word world class. I want world class. For example, today I'm attending a webinar. The webinar should also be world class. But talking about the cost, how much customer can pay? Do you think the customer can pay any amount you fix? No. It should be competitive. Without compromising on the quality, the price should be competitive. That means you should be able to quote lesser than the competitors. Then only customer would love to buy your product. One side quality, other side the cost. Quality should be best in class, cost must be competitive. At the same time, delivery should be always on time. I pay for a product and expect the delivery to happen on the same day. If you can't do it, I will simply assume you are not giving priority to my order. So instead of continuing the relationship with you, I will probably buy from someone else. This is today's scenario. If you really wanted to perform well in today's scenario, then you must change from your traditional approach to operational excellence approach. You can also call it Lean Six Sigma model. This is not a traditional model. This is a Lean Six Sigma model. Here the belief is quality is inexpensive. What is the belief? Quality is inexpensive. If you really have quality in your work, in your product, in your work, in your approach, you don't have to spend much. If you don't have to spend much, why do you charge more? This is the model. This is the model. And this is the model which will suit many of the companies, at least 80 to 90% of the companies. Only 10% of the company, if they are in a specific market where there is no competition, where you are a monopoly, then you can fix whatever model you want. But in wherever there is a competition, obviously, whatever we spoke so far must be respected by the management. And in order to understand this, in order to execute this, you need really talented people, knowledgeable, skillful employees, right? And that is what Lean Six Sigma is trying to bring in the form of a infrastructure. When I say infrastructure, the company is technically fit, at the same time intellectually fit. You have the right team to drive the company towards becoming number one. And so here the thing is, quality is inexpensive. And one more difference the companies believing in Lean Six Sigma model will follow or will differ from the traditional business approaches. In traditional model, in order to maximize the profit, they focus on the price. They focus on the price. If I increase the price by 10 rupees, my profit margin will increase. That is the belief. They in fact go and do it. Product is 100 rupees. And the operating cost. What is operating cost? The cost of goods plus the overhead. The operating cost is 80 rupees. So how much your company is making as a profit? 20 rupees. So the profit margin is 20%. Now I want more profit. You know what will I do? I will increase the price from 100 rupees to 110. Now what is my new profit? 30 rupees. Now my profit margin is much more higher. Right? It is more than 30-32%. So this is their thinking. This is their profit maximization approach. Coming on to the other side, Lean Six Sigma model or the operational excellence model. These companies will maximize their profit by doing three important things. This is what exactly companies like Toyota, companies like Motorola, companies like General Electric, companies like ABB, Bank of America, and many leading automotive companies, all the bigger brands which you are dreaming of, they all do. One is to maximize the profit, they focus on defect reduction. They focus on defect reduction. They also focus on waste reduction. They also focus on risk reduction. Defect reduction, waste reduction, risk reduction. Defect reduction is Six Sigma. Waste reduction is Lean. And for risk reduction, you have tools like FMEA, failure mode and effect analysis, or other risk mitigation approach, right? FMEA is a tool under Six Sigma as well as Lean Six Sigma. So what is this defect and what is this waste and what is this risk? If you clearly know, then you will better visualize the problems that exist in your company. Unless and until you visualize, unless and until you can see the problem, you can't solve. So just to see the problem, you should know all these things. So what is a defect? So defect is nothing but a non-conformance. Any form of non-conformance should be considered a defect. Suppose while explaining, I am using a word which none of you can understand. Now the word I have used is a defect in my statement. Because the purpose, purpose is meeting customer requirement. If I simply use something and which doesn't suit my customer's requirement, then the non-conformance that is present in my product, present in my service, should be called as a defect. A physical product can have a defect, right? And any service you offer, that also can have a defect. Just now I gave an example, wrong choice of the words while explaining your concept. That is, a defect. All right. Ultimately, if the product is getting rejected, then your product will now be called as a defective product. Why your product is called as defective? Because there are certain defects, intolerable defects. There are intolerable, uncorrectable defects that present in your product. So now your product is given a new name, which is called, defective. So Six Sigma ensures all your products are defect free. When I say all your product, you produce 100 units, all 100 is defect free. You produce 1,000 units, all 1,000 is defect free. You produce 10,000 units, all 10,000 is defect free. You produce 1 million unit, almost everything is defect free. That is, Six Sigma performance. That is Six Sigma performance. And if at all there are any defect, and for sure the defects will be less than 3.4 DPMO, where DPMO stands for defects per million opportunity. I'm just typing in the chat box, right? DPMO stands for defects per million opportunity. If the DPMO is less than 3.4, if it is less than 3.4 DPMO, you can proudly say your process is now performing at Six Sigma level. It is Six Sigma performance. So the goal of Six Sigma is defect reduction. It assures defect-free products. On the other hand, Lean, the focus of Six Sigma is waste reduction. So what is waste? Anything you do which your customer doesn't want. Anything you do which your customer doesn't want, or which your customer doesn't like, or your customer doesn't care. You need to use, listen to the words very carefully. Anything you do, you produce, you offer, but your customer doesn't want. For example, your product comes with a lot of defects. Do you think the customer will want defects also? No. So definitely producing products with the defects is a wasteful activity. We need to understand. And you're producing something, you're doing something, and customer do not care about what are you doing. Say, for example, your inventory levels. Your inventory level. Do you think the customer will be concerned about your inventory? You have a huge raw material inventory. You have huge finished product inventory. You have huge work in progress inventory. You have a big overhead. Can you charge your customer for all these things? They will run away from your campus if you charge for all these things. You're going to a restaurant and restaurant is charging you parking charge 200 rupees. How many of you would like to go to the same restaurant again?
No one can go.
That is their problem, right? So customers sometimes do not expect to see certain things in your work. If you show those things, yes, customer will definitely start disliking you. These are called wasteful activity. Right? These are called wasteful activity. You can use different words. Unproductive work, non-value adding activity, or you can simply call it as waste. You can call it as inefficiency. What is inefficiency? You should have done the work in a better manner, but you have not done it. You should have done a work in a better manner, but you have not done it. And now you are inefficient. Now your work is non-value adding. Now your work is unproductive. Now your work is a waste. That means customer is not able to see value in what you are doing. The first philosophy behind success of Toyota is create value. Create value. You add value. Do something. See that it is adding value in the eyes of the customer. Do something that always adds value in the eyes of the customer. Do more of such work and less of unproductive work. Why I say less of unproductive work? Certain unproductive work you can't eliminate. Certain unproductive work you can't eliminate. Some inspection required, some inventory required, some transportation required, some waiting you can't avoid. So those some, in order to accommodate those some, you can have less non-value adding activities. Always any process. And statistics say that even the world-class companies, they still have 60 to 70% of non-value adding activities in all their work. Even the world-class companies, they still have 60 to 70% of non-value adding activities in all their process. That means opportunities are unlimited. You might think that you are doing a great work and your company is very productive, you are super efficient, you are super effective. No, that will never happen. Every day there will be an opportunity for improvement. Nature will teach you what is that opportunity. You need to align with the nature, learn from the nature, and then grow. The moment you say you have grown fully, and that is your last day, right? So these are the philosophies and principles all these big companies has taught us. Many times people say that hey, learning Lean, Six Sigma, these are useless, and why unnecessarily? This is only for a set of limited people, particularly the top level managers. No, it is for everyone. For you and me, it is a way of life. We need to understand, isn't it? When we are doing a work, in our family also it is important. You need to understand your wife. You need to understand your mother. You need to understand your father, isn't it? Unless and until you fulfill their requirement, they are not going to respect you. They are not going to love you, and then your life will be very mysterious. So this is what Toyota, this is what Motorola actually did for their company, their employees, and Motorola has gone to the extent of creating a university. They called it as Motorola University. The purpose of the university is not to conduct undergraduate, postgraduate, and PhD programs. The purpose of the university is teach each and every employee the basic principles behind quality. Make people have a process-centric approach. Make their employees always take decisions based on the fact, not just on the opinion. I can give an opinion, you can give an opinion, but whether it is correct or not, that is very important. If your opinion is correct, then only I will admit. If my opinion is correct, then only you should admit. This is Six Sigma. This thinking is Six Sigma. So Six Sigma is data-driven. Six Sigma is process-centric. Six Sigma is customer-focused. Six Sigma is a systematic approach towards problem solving. Any problem your organization is coming across, yes, Six Sigma will offer a specific methodology using which you can fix the problem very systematically. which means once you fix the problem will never come again. We fix it, we learn out of it, and the new learning will be documented, and the new learning will lead to re-standardizing our process. The learning the project team had comes to the person at the last level, the person who is operating the machine. He is now educated about lubricating the machine. He is now educated about keeping the appropriate tool angle in his machine. He is now educated about the appropriate feed rate, appropriate depth of cut. It goes to that level. And that's how the quality is sustained. So we spoke about defect, we spoke about waste, we need to speak about the risk also. So what is the risk? The amount of uncertainty that exists in any process. Consider our workshop right now, our webinar right now. There are certain challenges, there are uncertainty, there are many things which is beyond my control. I can only talk. I can only present, I can only do whatever from my end. But whether people are listening to me from the other side, and there are certain challenges, right? I can conduct the program in classroom. I can also conduct the program in online. Where the risk is more? In online, definitely the challenges are more. Even participant also might have certain challenges, isn't it? Because sitting in the classroom, they can directly speak to the trainer, and then they'll feel more comfortable just seeing someone exactly in front. But now on the screen, and there are many challenges. So God has created the world with the two things. One is certainty, another one is uncertainty. Always there will be certain amount of challenge, certain amount of uncertainty. So which should be more? Certainty should be more, or uncertainty should be more? Which is required? We need certainty. So uncertainty, the amount of uncertainty, if it is more, we will simply conclude the risk is more. You are driving a car with all your family members inside. Now there is a risk involved. You are taking your entire family on a highway. Obviously, right? But then you can live with certain amount of risk. You safely drive the car. You drive it at a speed of 40 kilometers. Yes, it is livable. The risk is under control. Now you increase the speed from 40 to 80. Now what happens? The risk also increases.
No, sir.
Or risk won't increase if you increase the speed.
No, sir. Car must be 60 to 80.
Okay. Suppose you increase the speed.
You are saying that, okay, 60 is good.
Okay. Suppose you increase the speed. You increase the speed further from 80 to 120.
Then risk is more.
So considerably risk will increase. Considerably risk will increase. So 80 to 120. Even if you drive properly, then also some failure is possible.
Yes.
So what I am trying to make you understand here is, if you allow the risk to increase, that will obviously lead to failure. So it's very important that you keep an additional eye on the risk involved in every process. The way you design a process, there is a certain amount of risk. So how much risk is there? It is important to know. Suppose sometimes while solving a problem, we introduce a new problem. So always, when you make changes, it is important to ensure the risk is under control. For that purpose only, we have tools like failure mode and effect analysis. So you learn to control defects, learn to control waste, learn to control risk. Your business is now in safe hands. This is called operational excellence. This is called profit maximization. This is called improvement in profitability. Your today's profit will immediately improve, and your ability to make more profit in the future will also improve, because your reputation will improve, your brand image will improve, your market share will improve, and as a result, your future growth is also ensured. So this is what is operational excellence model. Now projects are floated. Certain projects will focus on defect reduction. Certain projects will focus on waste reduction. Certain projects will focus on risk reduction. The projects that focus on waste reduction are called lean projects. It is very, very easy to implement. I'll show you certain lean tool. For example, today we will see about a simple lean tool called Kaizen. We'll see today. So Kaizen is all about making small improvement. I make small improvement, and then there will be a significant impact in my business result. So waste reduction projects are called lean projects, and defect reduction projects are called Six Sigma projects. The defect rate in your company is reduced from 10% to 5%. Now, what is this project? A Six Sigma project. Because I reduce the defect rate from 10% to 5%, this leads to a savings of about 45 lakhs every single quarter. The number looks very big, but this is how it is. That's how it is. So 45 lakhs a quarter means near about 1.8 crore saving every annually. Your cost of poor quality is coming down. So defect percentage reduced from 10 to 5%. If your defect rate reduced from 10 to 5%, your profit rate will increase from 10 to 15%. People have to understand the relationship. If the defect rate is reduced from 10% to 5%, then your profit rate will increase from 10% to 15%. The percentage of defect you bring down, the same percentage will get increased in your profit. How many of you can see that, can understand that? Imagine a company is now running with a 10% profit margin. And now you are doing a project by which you have reduced 4% of the defect. Defect rate, you reduced from certain percentage to 4% less now. Now, what will be the new profit percentage for the company? Earlier profit is 10%. Now, what will be the profit percentage right now for the company after your project?
14%.
So now you understand the impact of a Six Sigma project. The impact is directly on the profit. Every organization loves profit. That is very, very important. More the profit, the better the scenario for everyone, even the employees. I can now, as a company, I can now do better for my employees. I can now do better for my customers. It assures, it leads to an inclusive growth. Now my company can better invest on R&D, can come out with better processes and better products. So that's the advantage. That is why Six Sigma is considered a profit maximization approach. Right? And lean will bring down your operational cost. Lean will bring down your operational cost because lean is all about efficiency. What is efficiency? Doing more, by consuming less, or doing your work by consuming less of the resources. I mean, though I say less, what is required will be consumed. What is required, you are allowed to consume, but don't consume excessively. Don't consume excessively. In your family, there are 4 members and your wife is cooking breakfast. You will always see your wife cooking the breakfast exactly, on the required quantity. She never see to that the breakfast is served for your lunch. She would have never served the same breakfast, in your lunch and lunch in the dinner. So every time she is more cautious that only exact quantum of resource is consumed and the item is produced. Use the same logic. Now you are a lean expert. Go and just see how the kitchen is organized. That is 5S. Every single day, your wife is making small improvement in your house. That is Kaizen. So lean is our way of life. Six Sigma is our way of thinking. Six Sigma should be our way of thinking. And you can use both of them for your, welfare. You can live a healthier life and a very prosperous life if you understand all these concepts, and also if you try to practice, all these principles, and if you learn the Six Sigma methodology, if you learn the Six Sigma tools and techniques, you can be much more stronger. You can be much more stronger. You can win any discussion in your favor. It can be a job interview, or it can be a business discussion, a negotiation. It can be, you participating, in a business meeting, and you will definitely be able to, stand out and prove your ability simply because you have understood all these philosophies and all these principles, which companies like Toyota and Motorola already know. They have proved that, following these principles can produce magic results. They have saved several $billion, and nothing wrong in just following, the proven principles, and you will also get a great result. But fundamentally, if you look at Lean or Six Sigma or any approach, it is fundamentally process focused, because it is the process that produces the result. Hope all of you agree. It is the process that produces the result. So the result is like our future. The process is like our habit. Unless and until you change your habit, you can't change your future. If your habits are same, then your future is going to be, the same as today. But if you make some good changes in your habits, which simply means you are making good changes in your future also. This is called process thinking. So I'm going to play a short clip of mine where I will be talking about process approach. If you understand the process approach, you have almost, understood both Lean as well as Six Sigma, right? So let me play that video for all of you. Hope all of you are ready to just, witness that clip. Yes. Process approach. So please confirm if you can, if the video as well as the audio, both are good for all of you. Otherwise, let me know on that. So process improvement is the key to improving business result, because it takes care of the customer on one side, also takes care of the business owner on the other side, right? So imagine you have grown an orange tree, and now this orange tree can give oranges. We all know that orange tree can give oranges. But suddenly what happened? The situation requires apple. It could be from your customer or it could be from your business owner. All of them now expect you to produce apple. Do you think the same tree, orange tree, can produce apple? Definitely no. Orange tree can only give oranges. If you want an apple, then you have to grow an apple tree, which means if you want to change the fruits, you must change the roots. Similarly, if you want to improve your business results, you must improve your process. Better results requires better process. Better process means process improvement. So process improvement is an essential activity which each and every professional right here attending the meeting, you are expected to have the appropriate skill for process improvement. This is what Six Sigma calls it as y equal to f of x. The equation y equal to f of x, where y is the output, x are the input. Where y is the output, x are the input. Y is the result. X are the factors that are responsible for the result. Mathematically, y is called dependent variable because it depends on several other factors. Mathematically, x are called the independent variables. You can change them without worrying about anything else. You can change them independently. So they are called independent variable. Right? Your y is your future. The x are your habits. You can change the habits so that you can change your future. Right? You can't change your future directly, but definitely by changing the habits, you can change your future. Same way, definitely by knowing what are the inputs that goes into my process. Inputs are not just the material inputs. The process conditions are also inputs. The pressure, temperature, the tool machine setting, the skill of the operator, everything is actually, acting as an X. If you learn to control the X, you will be able to control the Y. This is what is called process improvement approach. Now, just to let me understand whether all of you have grabbed the point or not, let us consider the product as a coffee. Let us consider the product as a coffee. In a coffee, we all as a customer, what do we expect? We expect a good taste. The taste of the coffee is the outcome, is the output. Now I request all of you to type the appropriate inputs that are required to produce a tastier coffee. All of you get my point? Please share your inputs in the chat box, whichever you think is required to produce a tastier coffee. Please type it in the chat box. Now the time is yours. I'll wait for your response. Whatever comes to your mind, please type it in the chat box. Let us see. Quality ingredients by Mohammed says. I'm waiting for your responses. All of you, please type. Milk, sugar, coffee, ingredients. Please spell out, spell out. All of you, please be participative. This is a promise we all have made right at the beginning, right? Your participation. So all of you. Ingredients again. You can spell out what are the ingredients. Coffee powder, sugar, milk. All right. So the coffee powder, the milk, the sugar, and you require a chef, everything. So all these are X factors. All these are X factors, and the outcome, Y factor, is a tastier coffee. And now I see a problem with my coffee. I see a problem with my coffee. The problem is coffee is not stronger because I expected a strong coffee. I ordered for it, but then the coffee is not strong enough. Now tell me, what is the root cause of the problem? Now tell me, what is the root cause of the problem? Coffee is not stronger. Is it because of the milk you added? Or is it because of the sugar you added? Or is it because of the coffee powder you added? Or is it because of the chef? Very good. Yes, I expect people to make a guess. It's not a difficult job. Yes, somebody says chef, and somebody says not understanding the requirement of customer, and someone says coffee powder and milk. I love the answer. I'll tell you why it is. Coffee powder and milk. Yes, you are absolutely correct. If I add milk excessively, that may reduce the strongness of the coffee, isn't it? Because a coffee means milk is prescribed, a particular ml of milk. If I add more than that, probably that will bring down the strongness. And now two ways failure can happen. One is excessive milk. Another one is lesser amount of coffee powder. Now there are two factors I suspect. Now tell me, out of the two factors, which has got more impact? Adding 10 ml of excess milk will make more impact, or adding 10 grams of coffee powder extra will make more impact? Which has more impact? People can guess now again. Now it is now you will be able to easily figure out it is the coffee powder, which means coffee powder is the critical factor as far as the strongness of the coffee is concerned. There are many characteristics that we expect in a coffee. Not only strongness, we expect it at a particular temperature. We expect the taste to be at a particular level, and similarly the strongness. As far as the strongness is concerned, the factor which is majorly responsible is coffee powder. That means the contribution is more. Contribution to the strongness of the coffee is more for the coffee powder than the milk, than the other ingredients. That is the reason why we call coffee powder as critical factor. Critical factor is nothing but the root cause. Critical factor is nothing but the root cause. And now I want to solve the problem. I want to solve the problem. If I want to solve the problem, it is very important for me to know the relationship of the root cause with the output which I am trying to optimize. Whether the coffee powder has got a positive relation or negative relation. Tell me, if I add more coffee powder, what will happen to the strongness? Will it increase or decrease? If I add more coffee powder, will it increase the strongness or decrease the strongness? I think people can make a guess, right guess now. Let me wait. Yes, it will increase. Thank you, Patnaik. It will increase, which means the relationship is positive. Increasing the X increases the Y. Relationship is positive. Suppose if increasing the X leads to decreasing the Y, the relationship is negative. Why do I need this? Then only solution can be offered. If you don't know which factor is critical, if you don't know what kind of relationship it holds with the output, which you are trying to optimize, and you are jumping to the solution, you will never be a solution provider without knowing the root cause, without knowing the relationship of the root cause. With the coffee example, the discussion went on very smoothly. Now let us change the product. Let us consider your product. Now you are manufacturing concrete blocks. You are manufacturing concrete blocks. Certain characteristics are expected. The strength of the concrete block is very important. The strength of the concrete block is very important to you. Now tell me, considering strength as the Y variable, what are the X variable? And also tell me, the strength is fluctuating heavily. Lot of customer complaints are coming. They are telling me that my blocks are failing before the prescribed load. Even before the prescribed load is applied, the concretes are failing. Why is it happening? What is the X factor now? What is the relationship of the X factor with the Y factor, which is the strength of the concrete? If you could answer all these questions, you will be able to offer a solution. Such experts are in high demand. Such experts are always paid 30% higher salary. Such experts always play the role of a manager, play the role of a team leader, play the role of the leaders at the department level, at the organization level. They have that analytical skill to figure out the root cause of the problem. They have the analytical skill to provide the right solution, right? And they are nothing but the Six Sigma expert. They are nothing but the Six Sigma belt holders. It is a fundamental, please all of you understand, it is a fundamental what we are talking about. If fundamentally something is wrong, we may not be able to progress well in the corporate ladder. And you really do not require analytical skill to solve every problem. But certain problem cannot be solved by your regular other methods. If you ask me what are the other methods, I will give a single name, trial and error. The other methods are trial and error because you don't know the criticality. You don't know the relationship, but you still try out. You still produce improvement. These are meager improvement. What are we looking at now? What are we targeting now? We are now targeting breakthrough improvement. If we are targeting breakthrough improvement, we must be strong in the analytical research, right? And this is what is called a process improvement approach. And this is the important skill which you will be enhancing by joining the Six Sigma certification program. All right. So people here, do you have any question about this particular module, process improvement approach? And meanwhile, Prabhakar, are you also available here right now? Okay. So let me check. Yeah. If possible, we can have the announcement about our upcoming program in between, and then I will be able to continue. So any questions people you would like to ask? I think there is some question already. Srinivaslu. He's talking about the skill of the employee, and he's asking what is the root cause, right? So see, we are talking about the process. We're talking about the process that is there in our workplace. And what are you talking about is, a process which is there in our society, right?
Yes, sir.
You need to first of all figure out what is that process that is producing an unskilled employees.
Mm.
Right? So you want
Okay, sir.
problem, you want to fix a problem, let's say a fan is not running in your house. The fan is in the hall, right? The fan is in the hall, and so the source from where it gets the current, that box is also preferably in the hall, right? And so what I'm trying to say is you need to figure out the process, real process that is actually responsible for the failure, responsible for the problem. So here your question is much broader, much broader. People go through education and at different stages, and finally they come back to the companies. And again, now they after landing in a company, companies realize there is a skill gap, and they conduct a skill gap analysis, and they do everything that is required to ensure the skill gap is filled. So that's where the in-house training comes into picture. You might be a graduate, you might be a postgraduate, you might be a doctorate, but still you are not able to help me, right? And so I expect you to go through a training program, maybe go through the training according to the skill I require. And once your skill levels are upgraded, you become productive. You become a contributor to the organization's growth. So the ultimate idea of Six Sigma training, Six Sigma certification, Lean Six Sigma certification is to make each employee a contributor for the organization growth. Right? In a hospital, you see nurses, you see duty doctors, you see some specialized doctors. Same manner. We have yellow belts, we have green belts, we have black belts, we have master black belt. The yellow belts are equivalent to the nurses in the hospital. They also take care of the patients, but definitely according to the doctor's advice. Same manner, yellow belts participate in projects, but they are under the guidance of green belts. So yellow belt is an intermediate level of proficiency, but green belt means you are now able to work in projects, even independently. You can be an effective team member. You can also lead projects. You can lead projects. Only thing is the project complexity should be less and moderate. Generally, a green belt, as a green belt, you are expected to complete 2 improvement projects every year. 2 improvement projects, but rest of the time, you continue whatever you are currently doing. But make sure you contribute to 2 improvement projects. But sometimes what happened, the issue the company is facing is very complex. A full-time effort is required. You just cannot execute such a project, by working with your routine as well as on the project. It becomes impossible. So such projects becomes the candidate for black belts. Becomes the candidate for black belts. So black belts handle complex projects, cross-functional projects. A black belt is expected to complete at least 6 projects a year. At least 6 projects a year. If you turn out to be a green belt, turn out to be a black belt, immediately you become 1 in 100. You are now 1 in 100. There are 100 people and you now stand out. You are now able to differentiate yourself from the average professional. And there is one more level called master black belt. It is the master black belt who ensure all the projects are required project. Who will ensure all the projects that are happening in the company are as per the requirement of the company. The alignment he will ensure. It is the master black belt who will develop the KPI, who will develop the metrics, who will ensure only the right projects are approved, the right projects are funded. It is also the master black belt who will produce black belt, who will produce green belt, who will produce yellow belt for the company. This kind of infrastructure are originally created in Motorola. So these are the guidelines given by Motorola University. They kept all these guidelines. Yellow belt means he should undergo a training. He should also clear an examination according to the yellow belt body of knowledge. There is a syllabus, prescribed syllabus. Even today, the syllabus is available. In our training, we respect the same syllabus. Though the syllabus was created 1986, 2023, near about 23 plus 14, 37 years, near about 4 decades. still the syllabus is very, very effective. It meets the need of the hour. It meets the need of the hour. If you go through the syllabus and people know only half of it. They already finished post-graduation. So that is the hidden secret in the Six Sigma body of knowledge. If the body of knowledge is respected, if it is properly attended to, if you learn, if you master all these things, you will definitely be able to stand out. Originally, Six Sigma started as an in-house program in Motorola. But now everywhere there is a Six Sigma training happening. The best way to conduct Six Sigma training is your company should start its own Six Sigma program. That's the best way. But then since it is not happening, people are looking for opportunities outside. In the process, they land in a wrong place and end up buying a certificate. What you are supposed to do is you should not try to buy a certificate. Certificate is, just to show to the society. But someone really wants to hire you. Then your skill matters. Then your really knowledge, the knowledge matters. Certificate, just, an entry ticket, that's all. Doesn't mean that certificate means, everything happens. But many people misunderstand there. They land in a wrong place, end up merely buying a certificate. People, don't even mind paying, close to ₹1,00,000 to buy a green belt certificate and a black belt certificate. It is not worth. You need to pay the money for the knowledge, for the skill. And for the certificate, yes, you pay less money and then get the certificate, right? Because certificate is just a piece of paper that will declare you attended a training, that will declare you have gone through a process, that will declare you have some proficiency. That's all. Ultimately, it is your proficiency. If you have, certificate will be valid. If you do not have that proficiency, even after carrying the certificate, nobody is going to respect you. We all have to, first of all, understand that. We can guide you to a costlier certificate. We can also guide you to a valuable knowledge and skill. What we are trying to do here is we are trying to guide you to a valuable knowledge and skill so that you can actually succeed in your career, in your field. At the same time, we are going to guide you to get the Government of India certificate. The Government of India certificate is globally recognized and you can use it for any purpose that you require it. You submit it in your company. Yes, it is recognized. You want to submit it in a company which is, out of India. Yes, it is recognized. We have, close to 1,00,000 of alumni. I'm directly involved in producing 10,000 belts. And they're all there across, in all major countries like US, UK. And we do have direct relationship with some premium certifying agencies like ASQ, ILSSI. But if you really have any specific personal interest, then we are not there. We are not going to stop you from buying from them. You can pay. Where you just buy this exam, you're not even buying the certificate. You need to note. You're only buying the exam. And then you crack the exam, certificate will be issued. For that, the price is around, 65,000, 75,000 rupees you have to pay. And then again, the certificate has to be renewed after every 2 years. So it is a money game. You need to understand. So what is important is your knowledge is going to speak. Your skill is going to speak. Your ability to implement your learning is going to speak. And your ability to take help from the mentor, you learned all those things. Imagine your professor backing up nicely in your workplace. So same manner, if you could associate with certain, mentor and then learn all these things, that is going to make all the difference in your career. And I'm sure you are right now in a very, very correct platform. And then you are talking to the right mentor and who can support you even post completion of your training program. And in the program, you will be experiencing the training, not just, the education. Right now, whatever, I have been speaking, it is a kind of education. I'm just educating. But then training means 100% sure you will learn out of the program. That's the difference between education and training. But after training, after getting certificate, you need to implement. And you will see we coming to the level of coaching you. Coaching is working in real time. And the individual is, having a challenge. And now the mentor is coming to help. That is called coaching. So you are going to have a lot of good education, training, as well as coaching. And ultimately, the next level is mentoring. You know, mentoring is leading you to highest level of success. All these form of support, you will be getting it if you decide to learn all these things from our platform. So our upcoming details about white belt, yellow belt, green belt, black belt, even master black belt, everything is available at the best in class standard. You can't get similar knowledge and similar exposure. Even if you are already a black belt somewhere outside, I still advise you, recommend you to join our black belt program. There will be a lot of new learning for you, right? So with that much confidence, I'm going to request Mr. Prabhakaran to talk to you, present to you about the upcoming details. And after he completes, we are going to continue our discussion. We are going to continue learning some more new content. And all of you now, if you are convinced that Lean Six Sigma is helpful in every aspect of your life and every whatever, no, it is also helpful to your company. All of you are now eligible for the white belt because you are now got convinced, because you have now become a supporter of any quality improvement project, and that's a clear evidence. You are now eligible to call yourself as a white belt. So all of you can now upgrade your learning today into a white belt certificate, and I will be happy to certify you as a white belt with my certificate. So for that also, what is the procedure? Prabhakar will tell. And then if you want to continue learning, yes, green belt, black belt, and all those things are there. But to respect your participation today, your presence today, and all of you are also eligible for a participation certificate. For that, you have to fill up a form. And that also the link will be, Prabhakar will be sharing. So now I request Prabhakar to share about all these details, and then we will continue our learning. Yes, Prabhakar.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for the opportunity.